Hello, 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 beautiful world. Faris AlHajri, founder of Aquapathy, Aquapathic medicine, harm or Aqua Revitalize therapy, registered in the United States under the Library of Congress. Aquapathy denotes to hot aqua, two words, registered in the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Hot aqua, so it's hot water. Initially, or before, we used to call it hot water therapy, but later on we coined it after we registered this type of naturopathic medicine, completely natural. The use of hot water for various use, consumption, with a specific modality program in terms of timing, temperature, for adults, for kids, interval timing, application, so on, followed by other therapeutic methods. We coined it the Aqua Revitalized therapeutic modalities, 22 modalities for internal use and external use. Now with this topic, you may be wondering, if somebody come and say, sugar intake does not cause any harm to your body. Wow, that looks very weird. You may say, "Hey, you look, are you normal or so worried that somebody come and say to tell you, oh, come on, you erase everything that what science has been telling." No, we do not underestimate all these great achievements, scientific clinical research studies. During my presence, 7 years in the United States, and before going to the United States, since I started this research in human biological form of the human being, the function of the human being, and so on, what is causing the dysfunction of the human body? What causes diseases, anxieties, and all these things? What is going on? Why are we living these humans' war against diseases, anxiety, stress, and all these things? Why there's a segregation even in affiliation? In your affiliation, people are affiliated in different attachment, ritual attachment, traditional attachment, through also, what of affiliation? So what's going on? So this topic, just to focus is about, I come to tell you, sugar intake does not cause any harm, but there is a but here. There is a but, you need to listen. First of all, any scientific clinical research study is done by group of people. They are divided into different categories. So, for example, if they wanted to find out, does really sugar cause any harm to your body? So what do they do during the independent clinical research study? What they do, they divide people in different groups. So one group, they live their life normal. The other group, they live on sugary intake. They like to take sugar, they love to take sugar intake, whether by liquid or consumptions of foods that are full of sugar and so on. And sometimes they even include a third group that just do not take sugar at all. They abstain from taking any sugary intake. So what do they come up with the result? The conclusion of the result, all these clinical trials will show that the group that abstain taking sugary food and liquids were enjoying a better, healthy life. But people, the group who were taking sugar intake, there were kind of a result that's not good, showing that there's kind of elevated sugar. When they take the blood test, there will be some kind of showing dysfunction, and sometimes even the pH change from 7 to different, sometimes turns acidic or alkaline and so on. So the research will come with that conclusion. But so I don't say the scientists have done mistakes. Scientists they're doing amazing. They're doing amazing, but it's how the research has been conducted. Now we always call, if they add a fourth group of people who implement Aqua Revitalized therapy specifically for consumption, so we coined it the therapeutic methods of aqua gulping. Gulping, so it's not drinking. We call gulping because you cannot take hot water and an entire tumbler with just by drinking. You need to gulp, and gulp means you fill your mouth every intake. So there is a specific way to explain. As you fill your mouth, you swallow and you wait for 5 seconds, and then you continue. So the entire tumbler may take about 1 to 2 minutes. So for daily intake of your aqua revitalizer gulping method, about 3 liters for adults at 50 degrees Celsius, of course you follow the program, the entire program, then at least half of that quantity, 1.5 liter, or 3 tumblers out of 6 tumblers, which is about 17 ounces or 500 milliliters or half a liter. You try to at least half of that quantity, so 1.5 liter or 3 tumblers, intake in within 1 minute. So every time, like this one, for example, because I'm talking, but usually sometimes I finish within 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes. So what do? I just show you. See, so I swallow. So I gulp, I fill my mouth, I swallow. And then I wait for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then again. One, two, three, four, 5. Wow, I feel the energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit. So it does not cause any burn. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about to finish. You can see the steam arise with that hydrogen from the hot water, aqua. Now, you realize that. So it's a 122 degrees Fahrenheit or 50 degrees Celsius. So this is the last portion. Okay, so it's after 5 seconds approximate. Wow, wow, wow. Let me drop on the floor. Okay. Well, so it took about 1 minute to finish the entire tumbler or mug or whatever you may use within 1 minute. So if we add any group of people who intake aqua, hot water, then the result will be completely different. So most of the biologic, or if not all, biologic, genetic, and psychological clinical trials will dramatically change. So it's like breaking the science, breaking the laws of science. What has been, see, science is just about human achievement. But every time evolution happening, there is a new discovery by scientific research, clinical. That's why science never stops. Every time evolution happen, life become better today than it was before. Most especially when we see technological advancement is going exponentially, is growing exponentially. Technology in science. But when it comes to health, optimal health means your entire physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and social health is dropping dramatically. So exactly, the doctor of the future, as per Thomas Edison, will not use medicine, but in the frame of care of the human being, his patients, in the care and diet, exercise, and so on. So today is already the doctor of the future. So I believe you'll be confused if I will take you to tell you and say, enjoy your life, eat whatever sugar intake, consume sugar, I want to tell you something out of curiosity. I like to apply these 3 behavioral activities I do every day. Curiosity, how things work, how events take place. So I like to follow curiosity. I say, okay, we heard about no, do not take sugar. But when with the other side, you know what is happening? You impede your body from taking one of the source, initial, essential source of energy to your body. See, there are various ways your body needs energy, and you need a continuum availability of energy to your body. Your body temperature, inner temperature, stay at 37 degrees Celsius. So if it drop up to like 34, 30, you die. And if it goes above 42, you die. Okay, so your temperature is steady. Your internal temperature, your body, your internal core is regulated. It's hot. It's not cold. It's not boiled. It's hot. Now, to maintain that energy, you need to preserve that. So it is it's long to discuss this, but let me to reveal all the information I wanted to say. Even if I do an entire lecture, even take for the whole day, you'll still find it's an entire encyclopedia, because it's changing. It's part of the evolution completely of the human body, the human being, in terms of the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, social, in entire, the genetic, even genetic and psychological part of the human body. So you're changing entire anatomic pathophysiology of diseases and all these aspects of optimal health of human being. So, okay, let's go to this. So when I tell you, enjoy your food intake, enjoy your sweet intake, that's a liquid or food that's with sugary, because when you impede yourself from taking sugary food and liquid, you start to move into lethargy. You cause lethargy, which is that you start to feel weak. You do not have enough energy, because one of the energy is that the glucose in the blood, which is the sugar in your blood. So there is a specific amount of sugar. And what happened? Everything in life occur by cycle. Just I want you to pay attention. This information, you may never heard about it. So everything goes by cycle. The blood cycle, which is called the circulatory system. You have the metabolic system, the way your stomach, enzyme, they break the foods and so on, and then you get again to produce energy and build up the muscles. So there's more to explain about that. Everything happened with the cycle. The planets orbiting around the sun and so on, the planetarium cycle. Everything goes through cycle. So also, as well as energy, you intake energy, you use that energy for various consumption of your body, your cells, your organs, and everything, your blood. So you expend that energy, and you get again a new energy. So it's a continue. The life cycle, So everything goes through cycle. So here, it's quite interesting. I know you may find curiosity with the sugar, particularly with this topic. When you take sugar, which is good for you, sugar is good for you. Now, when you take any sugar intake, whether lactose, whether fructose, whatever you call it, your body needs it as one of the essential supply of energy to your body. Let me explain quickly. You know what's happening when you eat foods? Every food that you eat, any food that you eat, carbohydrates, or fat, and also they could contain some minerals, vitamins, and so on. But let's go directly about the topic of the sugar, so we don't get out of this topic. Now, what happened? You have the carbs are broken down. Carbohydrates, like rice, like bread, and so on. Wheat. I mean, any food that has an intake of carbohydrates. You need carbohydrates. And carbohydrate, what happened? They are broken down by enzyme. So enzyme, these are proteins that exist in your body, in every living organism. So these proteins, the function of these enzymes, they exist also in the universe. during the hydrological cycle. Enzyme break down the water molecules from the hydrogen ions, hydroxide acid. It's different topics. So here with the enzyme about the carbohydrates, the glucose. So they break down the carbohydrates to produce glucose in the blood. So you can imagine, you think about the biological factory that is happening in your body. It's a biological factory, a super intelligent system that happens. Very accurate, no mistake. Let me tell you, no mistake is happening. The mistake happening is from you. You are destroying your system. Just listen carefully what I'm talking here. It's very clear. I'm open to debate, by the way. Peaceful debate, of course, because that's the only way to learn more. I learn from debates. So I love debates. Call me anywhere. Let's do open debates because I want to learn more. When I can't, I will tell you. When I do mistake, I will admit that I did a mistake, because life is a school that has an endless process of learning. Every day we learn and learn and learn. So that's okay. All right. So as the carbohydrates are broken down in your blood from your stomach through metabolic process, so the glucose from the carbohydrates in the blood, which is a sugar in your blood, again, this enzyme, they do the second function, breaking them again, breaking the carbs. So you would say from the carbs to glucose, and then glucose, which is a sugar in the blood, to produce energy to your cells. So you need to build energy. You need to build your body, you know. Like when I look at my body, I say, I want you to be like me. I want you to have that energy. You need that energy, continuum energy. So do not impede yourself from taking sugar intake, because for me, I eat sugar, I swallow sugar, I love sugar, and I love sugar because every single day I spend my time in, coffee shops, Starbucks, and all these coffee shops, and I like the caramel macchiato, full of caramel. I take these sweets and enjoy because I love sweets, and I call myself, I am sweet, and I want to be sweet because of the sugar that I take, and I build my body because of this energy. I am 60 years old. Follow me, and you're gonna see by yourself. Okay, all right. So these glucose broken down to produce energy to your cells, your organs, and so on. Oh wow, that is amazing. So sugar is not bad. The sugar is not bad. Do not stop taking sugar. But remember, this is a warning. I need to tell you, when you start to take your sugar intake, you must abide with the therapeutic methods of aqua gulping, drinking hot water according to the recommendation. We have a set an entire program for adults, for children, from this first birth. A child, when is born, going through the stages, of course, quantity changes, the temperatures changes. It starts at 40 degrees Celsius. It keep on increasing, which is 98 point something. It keep on increasing until the time of puberty, that it has to be 50 degrees, and the quantity need to become 3 liters per day. Do not take altogether. So you follow the program, you follow all this, the big can-do theory, believe, implement, continue. Appreciate, discipline, understand. You need to understand the information. You go to my channel. More than 800 videos we provide in Arabic, in English, in Swahili, Hakuna Matata, in French. C'est pas de problème. Okay, all right. So let's continue here. Now, the moment you take the sugar intake, you need to make sure. Just remember this. You need to cut down the food intake. The way we usually eat the food or in public, that is wrong. You need to implement what I coined Aqua Diet therapy, HDT. What is Aqua Diet therapy? It comes from 3 forms. One is you reduce your daily intake of food. So usually the normal plate of food by quantity is not by quality. Of course, if you go for quality, it's good, but you can eat anything you want. Just cut down the food intake. The entire plate, say for the size of a normal plate, table plate for food. You need to cut down either by 50% on a daily basis, or you need to cut down sometimes 75%. So you only consume 25 quarter of the plate. But listen to me, sometimes you need to do the extreme Aqua Diet, which is to reduce the food intake. It's like fasting. To reduce the food intake by volume by 90%. So you only consume 10%. So there is no more to say, I need to have my breakfast, I need to take my my lunch, and I need to take my dinner. You take dinner, you take your breakfast, you take your lunch for just various reasons. One, because for socialization, you are with a group of friends or people, or in a business meeting, or for you as a cheating day. Cheating day means eat anything you want at whatever the volume once in a week, maximum twice in a week. But you have the remaining days of the week, 5 to 6 times a week. You need to apply Aqua Diet. So reduce the sugar intake from the food by volume. Just eat any sugar you want. I'm going to do some demonstration. Maybe I should bring with me a honey. I can drink even a honey, like for example, a quarter glass of honey. I can take even like a caramel. I can drink like a quarter glass of a caramel up to like a 200 milliliters. Even the condensed milk. Sometimes I drink condensed milk. Can you believe? I drink condensed milk. Every day I take caramel macchiato. I enjoy my life and I build my body. I reshape my body, because that's another session where we will explain. There's a huge secret how you can build your body without doing any exercise. I'm not against people who do exercise, but when you do exercise, is a secondary requirement. Is not the primary requirement for you to maintain your health. You need to maintain Aqua Revitalize therapy for the reason that's another session. So enjoy your sugar intake. Do not worry about the sugar intake. You as much as you implement your Aqua Revitalize therapeutic modalities, the most essential is for intake consumption, which is for the gulping method. That's very important. So what happened here? When you look carefully, between two tables, one table, when you look about the enzyme, how do they break down the food? 3 types of enzyme. One that break down the proteins into amino acids, the fat into fatty acid, the carbohydrate into glucose. Again, they break down again. In each enzyme, they have their own name, like the lipase is for the lipids. Okay, so the protease is for the proteins. So those enzymes, they already broken the food, those as we said in 3 categories, into the glucose from a carbohydrate, the amino acids, and the fatty acids from fat. Again, they break them down to produce energy for the cells. So 3/4 of the operations that's happening here with the metabolic system that's happening, enzymatic function to break down the food, 3 of the function is to produce energy. The 4th one is from the amino acid that came from the proteins that have been broken by the protease, that's the enzyme. So these amino acids are broken down, as we mentioned here, to produce energy and to build up the muscles. That's why you see people who build up the muscles. Like for example, I look at myself, the body that who doesn't want to build a nice body? When you build a nice body, is from the amino acid. That's well known. So that's why you see people do exercise, athletes, they make sure that they take enough proteins, because these proteins broken down by enzyme to produce amino acids. Now you have the way we do it is completely wrong, because taking too much intake of proteins and all these amino acids from proteins can cause harm to you more than it can do good to you. What does your body do? Your body has been created with a super intelligent system full of it's completely made up of carbons. Your body is made up of all this. You have this vitamin, for purely natural vitamin that's produced by the cholesterol sulfate, according to Dr. Stephanie Seneff, the American scientist from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I mean, many scientists run a lot of research about. That's another topic. So what happened here? Your body is capable to reshape itself, to reprogram itself, to build itself. So what you need to do here, you cut down the food intake by volume. You enjoy any food that it comes to. You crave for food, for sugary food, go for it. You crave for any food that's just go for it. Cut down the volume. Implement Aqua Revitalize therapy. Now, what's happening here? So, since I mentioned about the food, how most 3/4 of that is to produce energy for the cells, energy in addition to build up the muscles from the amino acids. Now, let's talk about the Aqua Revitalize therapy, hot water. Hot water, water which is made of molecules, 2 hydrogen molecules and 1 oxygen molecule, H2O. By adding energy to the water, means you heating the water, which to become aqua, hot water. When you start to intake and you use for different modalities, according to the laws of thermodynamics, the first law of thermodynamics states that energy exists in the universe. Energy cannot be created, cannot be invented, but energy exists. But it shifts from one body to another. Now, wow! So energy is heat, comes in a form of heat, like the sunshine. Now, with hot water, as we recommend for adult at 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit. For children at 40 degrees Celsius, 98 point something or 99 point something Fahrenheit, you can convert that. Listen to me. Naturally, effortlessly, without any effort, that's the only way to shift the energy from the hot water, aqua, to your body by aquation. So based on the definition of hydrate, you can check with Google, is to make your body absorb water. Whereas we came up with a new terminology from our Aqua Revitalize therapy, being the founder of Aqua Revitalize therapy heart in the United States. So aquapathy, haquete, not hydrate, haquete, H-A, haquete, is to make your body absorb water, oxygen, hydrogen, energy all at once. Because your body, your enzyme need them, your cells, your organs, they need them continuously. So continuous supplies, as we talk about, everything goes by cycle. So as the continuum supply of all these fuels of the body, biological fuels, which I coined them, the feels, F-E-E-L apostrophe S, or just a small s, means the 4 essential elements of life. Your body needs them. So exclusively the energy from the water, because the temperature is higher than your body, naturally it transmits that energy to your body. That's about the energy. What about the others? Water, oxygen, what about the hydrogen? Now water, because you already have quite, there is still amount of water, so it does also hydration. What about the oxygen? The oxygen and hydrogen, they split by covalent bonds of this hydrogen oxygen. Of course, there's more to explain about that. That enzyme break these because of the energy in the water, same as in the way of hydrological cycle, the water cycle, which is another episode, and I have some videos about that. That leads to your body, your enzyme, they require substantial amount of water, oxygen, hydrogen, energy to perform its duty of breaking down the food, including the sugary food, which is the glucose, sugar in the blood, to produce energy for the cells. But when excessive energy, in addition, it adds that energy in something called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. What is that? It's the currency of the energy that exists in every human's cells. When your cells, they store this ATP energy, they use it as a currency. So when you sleep, you don't have enough energy, but your heart function, your brain function, you know, the circulatory system, even though it's at rest, they call it a basic metabolic at rest, means your energy is low when you sleep for like overnight, 7 hours. So what does your body get the energy? It gets from the ATP, the currency, it borrows. So as you wake up, that's why you feel quite tired, a little bit lethargy. That's why, because again, the system starts to go back at full function, because it was in a rest time. But once you wake up, then everything, your circulatory system, everything goes back at 100 performance. So again, you need that energy. So you need the energy from the sugar intake, from the glucose. So listen to me. You need that, just you need to make sure you abide with the therapeutic methods of aqua gulping, the entire aqua revitalized therapy, so that your body, your enzyme, they use these as biological fuels, because your enzymes cannot perform their duty, its duties perfectly if they do not have the fuels. Your entire body system, every part of your body, every cell, every organ, you know, every tissue, your bones, they need these fuels continuously as the fuels of the body. These are the biological fuels. They represent the non-living things. Whereas your body, the system, as a living organism, cannot function at all by any means without the continuum presence of water, oxygen, hydrogen, energy. This is essential every single day. They get them, they consume them. Any depletion or any low amount of these will impede your system. That's the time when you don't have enough of this equation, the enzyme, they start to lose the function, number one. Then what will happen? They send the message to the brain. So there is a connection between your brain, nervous system, and your gut, your stomach. So as the metabolic system happening, the breaking down the foods, if there is any issue with the enzyme to break down the food, enzyme, they send a message to the brain to say, I am sick, means I'm not able to break down the food. You know what will happen with the sugar? So the brain sends a signal, instruction to the pancreas to release insulin. So your insulin is required to be released for emergency in most of the time when enzymes, they are not able to break down the glucose properly. And that means something wrong with you. And it's going to be affecting your entire blood, you know, system. It will affect even your pH in your blood. It will affect everything. It will even cause you to have what you call, to go through constipation. And that's another issue. So that's another story. This is very important. And when the cells, your cells, are impeded from having enough of these fuels, biological fuels, water, oxygen, hydrogen, energy, the fuels, then the cells will not function properly. Your cells cannot even store the energy in a form of ATP from the glucose, sugar in the blood. Do you know what will happen? There will be a dysfunction of your cells to recognize the insulin. So you have an issue not only in the enzyme and also even with the cells, even with your pancreas cannot even release that the glucose, to release your pancreas cannot release the insulin to start to bring down the sugar. So there is an emergency happening, but your body tried to fix itself by itself. But it tried to use other resources, other options. But when it tried to use other options, there will be some dysfunction. Something will start to go wrong. The entire mechanism, the entire system will start to get affected. Beautiful world. It's your health. It's your wealth. The choice is yours. Stay aquated. I want to grab my aqua. Have a wonderful day, beautiful world. Please, you like it? Put a like. Please, you like it? You want to see others also achieve optimal health. Share to as many as you can. Somehow somebody will come and say, thank you, because if you share me this information, thank you. What will be your feeling when somebody say, thank you? Thank you. The word thank, that means a lot. No money can buy, but it's so heavier than anything can measure it. There's nothing can come close to it. Just, they will come and say thank you. Contribute to make this world a better place. So people are tired with the COVID, the pandemic, I don't know what, virus, but we are created with a system that is capable. According to the osteopathic medicine, the body has its own innate ability to self-healing, self-protection, and self-maintenance. It goes through about osteopathy. But osteopathy defines the system. Aquapathy defines the fuels of the body. Take care of yourself. Beautiful world. Again, Faris AlHajri. Bye-bye.